الله أكبر الله أكبر.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ramadan Reflections. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, in Surah Al-Ra'd, in ayah number 17, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us an important lesson. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, He sends down rain from the sky, and valleys flow according to their capacity, and the torrent carries a rising foam. And from the ore with which the people heat in the fire, desiring adornments and utensils, is a similar foam. Thus Allah presents the example of truth and falsehood. As for the foam, it cannot remain, being cast aside. But as for that which benefits the people, it remains on the earth. Thus Allah presents examples for people to understand. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, this particular ayah in Surah Al-Ra'd was revealed in the context of the oppression and suffering that the Muslims were encountering in Mecca. And this raises a very important question that oftentimes we ask. How come it is, if Allah is on the side of truth, and if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised that truth will triumph, how come it is that we see on the earth that there is oppression and there is injustice and that the bad people are on top? Why does that happen? And this creates a confusion among some people who do not understand the reality. So in this crucible of Mecca, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this ayah to explain this concept. He explained the concept that Allah sends from the sky water. أَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً. And when this water comes down in torrent, the water is a mercy from Allah. The water is a metaphor for Islam and for truth and justice. And when this mercy comes from Allah, however, it creates a flash flood because it is overwhelming. And so channels or flash flood rivers flow out carrying this water. And on top of the water, you see a foam or a scum. And Allah gives the example of the ore. If somebody were to take iron ore or gold ore and they were to melt it in a crucible, the foam or the scum would rise to the top. Now, a person who does not understand the nature of Allah, the sunan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, would assume that the foam, because it is on top, that everything is foam, that the entire river contains dirt and trash. But the reality is not this. The people who understand nature, the nature of God, understand that the valuable things are below the top. They are not at the top. That is why we see oppression and it appears to have the upper hand. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains a very important principle among His sunan. He says, فَأَمَّا الزَّبَدْ فَيَذْهَبُ جُفَاءً. As for the scum, as for the foam, it cannot remain, it will be cast aside. وَأَمَّا مَا يَنْفَعُ النَّاسِ فَيَمْكُثُ فِي الْأَرْضِ. And as for that which is beneficial to the people, the pure metal or the pure water, that will remain on the earth. And this is the example that Allah presents to people so they may understand. Because we see a universe, we see a world where many bad things happen, and this creates for us a type of confusion. And Allah reminds us that that is temporary. And I take this reminder for myself and for all of you, and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us patience, and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to cause us to be among that which is beneficial to the people on the earth, so that we remain and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps our good deeds alive for us in this world and in the next. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.